Hello, this is Malawi today. My name is Philip Zikanyanga. Another very important time where we look at those very critical issues affecting us. Today in the program, we are very privileged. I'll be talking to Honorable Chidanti Malunga, Member of Parliament for Sanje Southwest constituency, and also the official spokesperson of the so-called Chilima movement. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
First of all, I would like to get a clear picture from you being the official spokesperson of the Chilima movement, because that's where we will dwell much in our discussion.
Right.
The Honorable Vice President contradicted you in your quest to make him succeed President Peter Mutharika as the leader of the DPP and eventually contest as the DPP candidate during the general elections next year. What's next now?
Well, I think, let me correct you. He did not contradict us. If you remember, if I may take you back, you remember the former First Lady, the statement that she made. She said that we want the current Vice President to become the President of this country come 2019. And as you know, that at that moment, the Vice President was a member of Democratic Progressive Party. So the only way to become to contest during the general election is for him to contest first of all at the convention and become the torchbearer of the party, and therefore contest during the general election and consequently win the presidential contest in 2019. Now, when you were waiting for that, in the process of trying to build up of the convention and all those things, that's when we had a lot of talk. You remember that our colleagues from the other side, I think they tried everything else to block the Vice President to contest in the convention, and all sorts of things. You remember things like I'll drop a ton of bricks on you and things like that. So we thought that probably this is not the correct way, because if we still press to go to the convention, TPP convention, then probably the convention will be marred by violence and all other things. So we kind of said, because we are peace-loving Malawians and we love our country, and all this is just a competition of ideas, and we think the party was democratic, and now they are putting all these stumbling blocks for for the current Vice President not to contest during the convention. So do we continue with this? The answer is no, because we don't have to do this. So that's why the Vice President say, yes, you want me to become the president of this country, but I don't think the only way of becoming the president is to become a torchbearer of TPP. So can we do the other thing? Yeah.
Maybe before you proceed, I would like to understand, because many times our officials from the Chilima movement have been saying they've never sat down with the Vice President, or have never consulted the Vice President to share his ambitions or his plans as regard to contesting for the presidency. And now you're telling us that the ambitions were there, only that maybe you were blocked by the DPP to take part at the convention. I want to understand from you, did you have a blessing from the VP on the onset of your movement?
I think people are asking that question a lot, to say, have you ever sat down with the VP and discussed these things and all that? I will take you back to the press statement that he made. You remember he made a reference to the movement to say, I'm very happy that there's a group of Malawians that think I can become the president of this country, and I'm very happy that they think that person should be me as Salos Chilima. That in itself should tell you that he's fully aware of what is going on, isn't it? Now, whether he has been contacted or whatsoever, I think that shouldn't be the question. The question is, was he aware? Does he have the ambitions? And now, to answer your question of does he have the ambitions, yes, he has ambition. He actually said it in the press conference, actually during one of the questions that one reporter asked. He said, I'm going to contest in 2019. How I'm going to contest, I will let you know, as time unfolds. So us meeting him, I think the whole idea of meeting him is to make sure that he knows what is going on, isn't it? Now in the statement, he says, I'm very happy there's a group of Malawians that think that I can become the president, which means he was fully aware, isn't it?
Why is the vice president not so clear? Because if we try to reflect back on the statement which he addressed to members of the press during the briefing, he said he commended the movement for practicing democracy,
right,
not necessarily showing that he's party to the movement. So now you are saying you had a blessing from the VP. Why is the VP not so clear in his
about
dealings?
it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why do people want the vice president to be clear about this? Because all we want him is to become a president, isn't it? We want him to become a president of this country, and we thought at that time the only way to do this is to go through convention, through the ladders, and compete later on or contest during the 21st May general election 2019. But with all this, he said, I think, yes, you guys want me to go this way, but the way things are, it is not possible for me to go. So I can still achieve what you want, going through another way. That's basically what the message is all about. But people continue saying, did you ever, sit down with him and talk about this and all that? But if you read the statement, it's very clear. He says, I would like to thank those Malawians that think I can become the president. So that shows that he was fully aware of what was going on.
What gives you confidence that the Right Honorable Vice President can make a better leader, considering that he is in the same government which he is accusing of corruption, nepotism, and impunity? What gives you confidence that if he stand alone, he will make a better leader, or he will fight corruption tooth and nail?
These things. There's a point where you can say enough is enough, right? He's in the system. I would like to believe that is correct, as you just said. But when you want to change things, yes, you can fight within. But when you have tried and then nothing is working, so you can come to a point and say, I don't think I would like to be part of this. When come 2019, and then we go to the poll, tell people that, oh, you voted us, we're going to do ABCD. When you have been part of the system, it's not going to work. So the best way is to say, I'm not part of this. I would like to be alone somewhere else and do something else different, because Malawians want something new. Newness is what people want. We want something that is relevant to the situation. We want something that actually speaks to the majority of the people in this country. So that's why we think that the South Chima is a great candidate. And also you have to be within the age group or the age bracket of the people or the majority of the people in that country. The wind is blowing across the world. Go to America. You remember there was President Obama who was relatively in his 40 years, so thereabout. The current president of France, go to Botswana. All these things are happening because people think that for us to succeed as a country or as a generation, we have to make sure that the people that lead us, they have to be relevant and relevant to the situation currently. You know what I mean? So we believe that the Saulos Chilima, of all the candidates that have actually expressed interest right now, we believe Dr. Saulos Chilima is the most relevant person, and we believe that he's going to win.
But the question could be, why now? Why after 4 years, and also at the same time when elections are fast approaching, only 1 year remaining? Is he not trying to be greedy just to push his ambitions?
No. You and me, when we were young, I remember when I was in school and all that, people used to tell us that you are leaders of tomorrow, right? You are leaders of tomorrow, and when tomorrow comes, you are going to be whatever you want and all those things. Now, here is the situation. Somebody who has been told that you are leader of tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, you want to be a leader, and then they say, it's not your time yet, you're a baby. It doesn't make sense. So we think that tomorrow is now. This is our time as a youth of this country. We have to embrace this. So that's why we are all running behind this, because we think tomorrow has come and tomorrow is now. Tomorrow is not tomorrow, tomorrow is now. That's why we're pushing forward that Dr. Saulos Chilima should be the president of this country.
I want to understand from you also, Honorable Chidanti. Some years ago, you announced your departure from the DPP, and now you are coming in, becoming the official spokesperson of the movement. Yet somehow, to some extent, the movement seems to be an in-house thing or a pressure group within the DPP. Why are you so forthcoming to be part of this movement, yet you are not part of the DPP?
Let me make this very clear that what we want in this country is nothing to do with any party. This thing is not about a party. This thing is not about any tribe. This thing is not about a region. This thing is about Malawi. So if Chilima was in MCB, I was still going to support him because he is Malawian, you know what I mean? So we want a leader, wherever he is, whether it's in DBB, in MCB, in a Ford, whatsoever. What we want is someone who is relevant to the situation. That's what we're saying. And it has nothing to do with the party whatsoever. It has nothing to do with tribes. It has nothing to do with the regions. It has nothing to do with ethnicity. All it has to do is with our country, Malawi. So that's what we're saying. So that's why you see me rallying behind this, because I know that right now, Dr. Klaus Chilima is the one that is relevant at the moment.
Who is funding the movement?
Funding? People across the country. In fact, even you can say, I would like to donate this. You have seen people, wearing caps, wearing T-shirts, and all that. If I tell you, it's just people, people that are just, happy about the movement. People that are, that just want to assist. They would just wake up in the morning and print and say and put the face of the vice president on the cap or on the T-shirt. They're just happy. Some of them we don't even know them, and you can't stop them, because if we stop them, then we will not be doing justice ourselves. Actually, let me take you to the Bible, because I had that question the other time to say, why are you not stopping them? You remember, I'm not sure how far you read the Bible, but you remember this story that some of the disciples went out. I think they were on an outreach mission or something, and there they found people preaching. And then when they came back to Jesus, they told, actually found people preaching. And we stopped them. Why should they preach? Because it's only us who's supposed to preach. And Jesus asked them, okay, they are preaching in whose name? Say, in your name. No, you don't have to stop them, because those are with us. I'm saying this because some people have said, why don't you stop? We can't stop them because they're just happy about us and they are with us, so why should you stop them? So they're just people of goodwill. So it's exactly what happened in the Bible. People were just, they heard the message and they started preaching even without meeting Jesus. So this is what is happening.
We have to go for a short break.
All right.
In case you are just joining us, we are inside Malawi today, and today I'm talking to Honorable Chidanti Malunga, Member of Parliament for Sanje Southwest, and also official spokesperson of the Chilima movement. To be back shortly.
We began in the central region on 101.5 FM, and then we extended our coverage to the southern region in Blantyre on 103.4 FM, Zomba and surrounding areas 105 FM, and now we are in the northern region. Channel for All Nations Radio is live, loud and clear on 103.3 FM, CAN, together into the future.
Welcome back. We are still inside Malawi today, and today, as I said earlier on, we are very privileged. I'm with Honorable Dr. Chidanti Malunga, Member of Parliament for Sanje Southwest constituency, and also the official spokesperson of the famous Chilima movement. Will this movement, will this movement turn into a political party anytime soon?
Well, the direction that will go will be announced very soon. And also going back to the statement that the Vice President made a few days ago, he also said that how I'm going to contest, I'll let you know. So how this movement where it is going to finally end up, how it culminates, whether it is going to culminate into something which right now we cannot say until that time when the vice president is going to unveil the movement, and that time, that's when Malawians will now know that this is what it is. So for now, let's just say Chidima movement.
All right, the president, in many instances, has branded your movement as a bunch of cowards, people who are greedy, people who are looking for business opportunities in government, but they were turned down by the president. And out of greedy, they're pushing for the removal of the president. How true is this?
Well, I mean, this is the politics, my brother. In the politics, you look for the weaknesses of your opponent. You try as much as possible to look at how weak your opponent is.
So that's how we
capitalize on the weakness of the opponent. Even when there's no weakness, you still find the reason. So we think that for us, whatever they're saying, it's just, we're happy that they're saying it, because when they do that, then people will say, oh, who are these people? We're happy that they're talking about us every day. But for us, what we think is that we are not going to engage in a war of words and exchanging words through media and all that. I think we will try as much as possible to refrain from that, because that's not what we want. We want to build a Malawi. We want a new Malawi. And I don't think we're going to build Malawi by exchanging words through media and cascading each other. I don't think that is what we want. We want to play civilized politics. And this is new Malawi, new era, new everything. So we want to do something different, not the same old where you go out and castigate people. That we are going to try as much as possible to refrain. So if they said that, I don't know, maybe that's what they think. Maybe that's part of their agenda. I don't know. But for us, we are not going to waste time, sit there and talk about other people. We will just waste time to talk about how we're going to transform Malawi from where it is to, there was a report that we just, saw a few days ago that we are the least developed, I think number 3, third poorest country in the world after how many years of independence? Since 1964, and we're still the third poorest country in the world. Does that make you feel angry? This is where we are saying, why are we the third poorest country in the world? It's because we have gotten it wrong all these years. How? By putting wrong leaders into positions. And that is where we're going to change the things.
Honorable Malunga, just recently our officials from the Malawi Revenue Authority raided the house of Honorable Louis Ngalande, who is also party to the movement, and also DPP director for youth. Some are arguing the raid is politically motivated because he's pushing for the presidency of Honorable Chidima. Are you not afraid that you could be next?
I don't know whether, when I remember my grandpa told me that you have to be courageous in life. If you want, there's nothing that will come on a silver platter. I mean, people will try everything that they want, to make sure that they trample on you. They'll throw weights, they physically harass you, they'll do whatever they want to make sure that you don't succeed. But you have to be courageous. I'm not afraid that I'm going to be next. This year, I don't know. But I don't want to comment on what happened on the honorables that you're talking about, because I believe those are personal issues. If the issues has nothing to do with the movement, that's extremely personal in my view, and I don't want to comment on their behalf. I only want to comment on the movement. But if you're asking about me, whether I'm going to be next, well, I'm prepared. I'm in for it. You know what I mean? So let it come.
Right, Honorable Chidanti, why do you think maybe some officials from the mainstream DPP are not comfortable with the Chidima movement or the rising to stardom of the Vice President, Honorable Saulos Chidima? Why are some people not comfortable in the DPP?
I think this is a protection of positions. People want to protect their positions. They know that first of all, Malawians want to change. and change is inevitable. They have to know that. When things happen the way we want them to happen, then definitely there's going to be some changes in the setup of the hierarchy of the party or the government, whatever it is going to be. So people think that if we bring someone new, then our positions are not going to be there. So it's basically protect their positions. But what we're saying is, do we really have to put our positions in front of us? The answer is no. We have to put our country in front of us. So that's why you see people say, oh no, why do they push the current president to still contest when they know that he may not be fit to be the president for 5 years? I don't think he's going to be, because, I mean, for sure, he's going to be irrelevant to the situation. Why are they pushing him to become the president? It's because they want to protect their positions. And we're saying what we want to do is put our country first, not the positions.
The main issue you are raising in the movement, mostly we're saying the president has grown too old to run the country or to manage the affairs of the country. We need somebody who is a little bit younger to manage this country. I want to understand, is age really an issue? Because we do have countries where presidents are even much older than our leader in Malawi.
Well, there's a whole lot of issues that surround the current administration. Age could be one of them. But I think the bottom line is that they have failed to manage this country. You know that. The economy is bad. In electricity issues, I mean, I don't have to explain them. Water issues, agriculture, everything, education standards, everything has gone down completely within the last 4 years. All this is because of the current administration. Now, whether age is playing a factor, we are saying probably it could, because as you know, that as you age, then you become, some of the things that you do normally when you were young, you are not able to do them. So that's what we think, probably one of the issues or one of the reasons why he has failed, or why this country has performed so poorly in everything else, is because maybe we don't have a leader who is relevant to the situation. So that's why you see that people are blowing up the issue of age. But there could be so many other issues. But the bottom line is they have failed in this country, failed in everything.
Sometimes I get confused, Honorable, when you say the current administration has failed, especially for the past four years, and at the same time, VP is in the same administration, and to make it even worse, he's second in command. In other words, are you trying to tell us that the vice president has been a spectator for the past 4 years?
You are a Malawian, my brother, and you live in this country, and if you have been following issues in this country, you remember the vice president was responsible for reforms. Do you remember that? He was responsible for reforms, public reform for the civil servants. You remember that? If you do remember, you see that is he still responsible for the reforms? The answer is no. He was responsible for disaster preparedness. Is he still responsible for that? The answer is no. So why are all these portfolios being taken away from him? It's because people don't want him to be seen to the public. People don't want him to be seen to be engaging with the public. So when you say, okay, he's been part of this, I really wonder when all these portfolios have been taken away from him.
But we are always told that's normal in government.
Yeah, that's normal in government. That's what you say. But in politics, it's basically you want to paralyze someone. You want someone to incapacitate someone. You want someone not to be visible. You want someone not to be heard. That's what politics says. So if they have been trying to do that in the last 4 years, do you think you still have the energy to say, I would like to continue this? That's why I was saying earlier that there's a point where you say enough is enough.
All right, as we are concluding, time is running out. I want to understand maybe what the Chilima movement would urgently address if voted into power, because to some extent, according to your explanations, it seems you have at least sat down with the VP and discussed a little bit on how you move on with the movement. So if your movement, whether to turn into a party or just the movement, if you're voted into power after 2019, what are some of the areas which you will look with agency?
There's a whole lot of areas that we are going to look with agency. First of all, look at the education system in this country. where once people were coming from Europe all over Africa to come and learn in Malawi. Kamu's Academy was super at that time. Our schooling system, the primary school was good, the secondary school were good, but now we are basically the lowest. Look at the ranking of our universities in this country. Probably, I would say, on the bottom in Africa, not even in the world, but in Africa, on the bottom. So, for us to move forward, we have to correct the education system in this country. That's number one. We also have to make sure that we have enough food. We talk about, okay, agriculture, what, all that, irrigation. Is there irrigation here in Malawi? The only irrigation systems that you see around were, those that were constructed a long time ago by His Excellency, the life President Ngwazi at that time. But now we talk about it, but we're doing nothing. We need to have enough food in this country. We also have to make sure that the social issues around us, electricity, for example, we have to make sure that the industry has to boom, because you give it the environment that it requires it to boom. There's no, you turn on your machine. If you're in Ganengo, you turn on a machine, 2 hours later they tell you, oh, we're going to ration this, so turn them off. Do you think you are going to prosper like that? The answer is no. So the whole lot of issues that we are going to do, education, agriculture, mining, tourism, all those things, we'll have to put them together. Very soon we'll produce a document that will tell Malawians how those things will be tackled, specifically one by one. Not the way we're doing things today. Look at the budget that we're going to pass next week. We're touching there, touch there, touch there. This is not going to help Malawi, because we're trying to do everything at once with the budget. Budget, responding with it. Why don't we say, okay, this year's budget, we're just going to look at the highway from Blantyre to Lilongwe. And the next year, we're going to look at the highway from Lilongwe to Nzuzu.
Would other sectors not suffer if we implement such kind of a budget,
but you're not
with that approach?
But how are you going to, if you do piecemeal, the end result is what we're seeing right now. You have piecemeal development there, you give people there, small thing. I don't think it's going to help us, but we need to be thinking big. If you are saying, okay, let's go into agriculture, what should we do? We're going to transform. Where is it possible? It's in Salima, it's in Karonga, it's in Ichikwawa. Let's do this. Put a lot of money there. And then the following year, what is it that we should do again? Let's look at the health system. Let's build whatever we want. We ask experts. They will tell us. How about the mining or the tourism? I think this is the way we have to do something big that we can see and appreciate at the end of the day. Not small. In the end, we're putting a lot of resources together, but they're just addressing very, very small things across the country and across the sectors.
Honorable Chidanti Malunga, we have to stop there. Thank you for showing up in the program.
Thank you very much.
I'm afraid we cannot proceed beyond that point. We are stopping there in the interest of time. My name is Philip Ziganyanga, and today in the program I was talking to Honorable Chidanti Malunga, Member of Parliament for Sanje Southwest constituency, and also the official spokesperson of the Chilima movement. Goodbye, and keep watching CNTV.